Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my Lagos to Canada journey and everything in between. So if you're interested in this gist, don't go anywhere. Thank you for stopping by. You're welcome to our channel. If you're a new subscriber here, please remember to subscribe and please hit the like button. Let people know what is going on this channel. Thank you so much for the love on my previous post. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments. Thank you. I mean, today is the first of many story times on this channel. As I said in my intro video here, if you have not watched it, go and watch it. As I said in the intro video, I'm going to be having a lot of story times. So I mean, what better way to kick off that edition than talking about my Lagos to Canada journey. See, disclaimer, this is going to be a long video, so better get your popcorn and your juice ready. I'm not even joking, like I have my juice here, so I'm going to be sipping on some juice while I drop some juice. Did I just attempt to rhyme? That's not even a rhyme. But anyways guys, let's get right into the video. So where do I even start from? I'm going to start from how the idea of Canada even came about, like the backstory, gong. So I mean, like some of you, I was part of the Niger Go Better gang. Like people are making it in Nigeria, so why won't I make it in Nigeria? Like I don't get two heads now. Even though my brother landed in Canada in 2019, July specifically, I still wasn't so interested. I remember that I drove my housemate there to write her IELTS. Literally, I went to drop her there. And guess what? I still wasn't interested. Like, it just was never on my mind. You get what I mean? Like, I just wasn't interested. And that changed July 15th, 2019. I can never forget. Like, you know how I feel like people have different triggers. And, if you ask people that have come on this journey or that have taken this journey to Canada, you would ask them at what point did they decide to come to Canada. You'll be surprised. For me, it was a very tiny thing. So, I mean, July 2019, I think Sanwo-Olu just came into power then. The road, that's like the governor of Lagos State, the roads were bad. July, of course, was rainy season. I was spending a lot of money fixing my car. I remember then, every other month, mechanic would charge me. Today is shock absorber, next tomorrow is bushing. Like, I was spending a lot of money. Acme Road, if you remember then, anybody that lives in that axis, Acme Road was a mess. So, literally, I was spending so much on my car. And so the height of it for me, like what even broke the camel's back, was I'm a businesswoman. I do businesses here and there, and so I sort of like did a job for a company and I forgot to quote my value-added tax. And so for some reason, of course, when they were going to pay me, they deducted the value-added tax, and I was so livid. Like, you guys tax my salary. Now this small business where I think they manage my life, una tax them again. Like, and for me it was like, where the money they go? Like, all this money people are collecting, where is it going to be? Because I'm still spending ridiculous amount of money fixing my car. I'm telling you, on that day I was so mad. I took my phone, I called my friend. I know that I think he was also in the process at that time, and he's like, oh yeah, we did diploma in Unilag, so we can do 2 degrees, blah blah blah. I promise you, on that day is when I just literally went up. After the phone call, I went back to my office and I registered for West that same day. So for me, that was the turning point. So I remember vividly July 15, 2019, and that's when the entire journey started. A journey of 855 days. I remember correctly, 28 months. In short, 2 years and 4 months. Like, that's how long this journey took. So, I mean, I'm going to start from the very beginning. I, put in for my West. At that time, the West, turnaround time was about 6 months. So I calculated it that, okay, July, August, September, October, November, December. By end of the year, my West will be ready. That's so before the expiration of my West, I would have taken my IELTS. So I'm going to be checking my phone so I can give like the accurate timeline, so I'm not mixing things up. So I registered for my West on that day, July 2019. And I registered for my IELTS in October because I anticipated that my West would be ready soon. And for me, anybody that knows me, like, I worry a lot. So for some reason, because I know people that said, oh, my colleagues did IELTS exam. IELTS, by the way, is the English exam you have to take. I know people that said, oh, they did their IELTS 13 times, they did it 5 times. I'm like, Shebi, na this English, where would they speak? But anyways, like, I was so scared. Like, all of those stories scared me that I knew that God do me. I didn't want to fail. So contrary to some people that actually just went to the exam because Shebi, na English would they speak, I actually prepared for that exam. And shout out to Damola then. At work, she would practice speaking with me. Shout out to Marilyn, Bemi, Talkbed, David as well. I would write my essay. I'll send a picture to those that were not there and that were not with me physically. Those that are there physically in the office, I remember that I'll give it to Marilyn to proofread, give it to Bemi to proofread as well. Like, so I literally did the work. Like, I prepared for the exam. But then again, is it to say that people that have been failing did not prepare? Who am I in the scheme of things? But the point is, like, I did my due diligence, because if you know me, I worry a lot. So I thought about, hey God, even with my preparation, I was still like, what if I fail? What if I fail? But anyways, I registered for the exam in October. I took the IELTS in November, and in November my West was actually ready. It was like 1 month earlier actually. So 2 weeks after, I can never forget, 2 weeks after I took the exam, see, let me even gist you guys. On the exam day, I feel like this should be long, but let me wrap it up. On the exam day, I mean, I took my IELTS exam with MOD, and this is publicly calling out MOD that they are very inconsiderate. So the way the exam works, right, you do like 3 sessions on the same day, right? I would have been at the venue obviously like an hour before the exam. So if you want to pee, they take out time from your exam time. And of course, we have breaks in between those sessions. I feel like they should have like bathroom breaks in between, because even if you peed before the exam, tension and everything safe will make you want to go to the loo. And I mean, they even give water. I mean, I didn't take that water before I entered the exam, because I'm like, look at these people. So make I do exam, make I come out because of toilet. I had no idea what was waiting for me. So I mean, I did the first section, which was listening. That went well. I did the next one was writing. So for those that know how IELTS work, for writing, for reading, when I was I don't like reading. I'm a media person. Like, I'm more of a visual person, right? I don't like reading. So even when I'm reading a blog post or anything, like once it has passed like 10 lines, I'm already a bit uninterested, right? But of course, for the exam, I had to read. And when I was practicing, I used to like skim and scan, and I'll still get the desired mark, right? But on the exam day, devil tried me. I decided to go and say I want to be reading to understand the essay. Things that are very abstract that I know nothing about. Zoology, species. How can I want to understand that? No be meant. So on that day, I ended up almost not even attempting all the questions. I think out of 40 questions, how many questions is it? I probably did just like 90% before time was up. I'm like, devil is working full time. So the last session, which was writing, and that is the most delicate. Anybody that knows IELTS, I will know that writing is the hardest part of all. Like, and the requirement there is 7.0. So it was time for the last one. Now I was so pressed. I needed to pee. I told the guys, one other girl said she almost peed on her body. Like, please, we want to go and pee. They said no, that we cannot go and pee until the next session starts, so that the time will be taken out from your exam time. Like, make it make sense to me. Nigerians are just so inconsiderate, because why? You've not even given me the paper, so it's not like I'm going there to go and check for expo or whatever. Like, bottom line, say okay, you have 10 minutes to go and pee. If you come back later than 10 minutes, you would have started, and I think that's a better approach, right? But anyways, I took time out of my exam, whatever, and I went to pee. You see the marathon, and going to pee, they'll see check your passport. Coming back in, they'll check your passport. And that school, I think the bathroom was like 2 levels down, so running up the staircase up and down like a mad. See, guys, by the time I got back to my seat, I was so tensioned. Like, this is the most important part of this exam, and I already missed like 10 to 15 minutes out of 1 hour. So what I did then, also because of practice, there are 2 parts in the writing exam. There is the essay and there is the letter writing. So technically the essay takes the most mark, right? I think it's like 75%, if I'm correct, I'm not sure. And the writing is like 25% or thereabouts. Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, the usual consensus, the general consensus is that you should attempt your essay first, make sure you ace it, and then honestly just wing your letter. So I got back to my seat. I started section 2, which was the essay. I wrote it. I made sure that one was perfect. I counted the words. I think it's 250 words. I literally counted the words one by one because essay. So now it was like 10 minutes to the end. Yeah, I remember very vividly. 10 minutes to the end of writing. I not even started my letter writing. I was just like trying to make sure that my essay was great. And the supervisor or whatever was passing by. She was like, "Madam, you have 10 minutes to go." I was so mad. Like, yo, do you think I'm not looking at the time upstairs? I know what I'm doing. Like, don't waste my time. Get out. So I honestly just like wrapped up that one. Less than 10 minutes to go. I started with the letter writing. So also from practice, I knew what my one page with my handwriting, I knew how many words it would be. So the idea was to write over my usual measurement so I don't have to count it. So I rushed my letter writing. I wrote it. I was writing as if I was texting. I was just like, I literally had 10 minutes, right? And for some reason, I finished the exam and I was just like, at this point, God, the devil tried me. So I did the exam and it was done 2 weeks after I saw the release result, 13 days after the exam actually. Anybody that knows me or that is in my corner, I've used worry to kill them. Hey God, I better go. Hey, would I pass? Would I fail? I remember very vividly that morning when the result came out. 12 a.m. I did sleep. 12 a.m. I checked it. I might never come out. Then I went back to bed. As I woke up very early in the morning like this, my housemate then Oinda, I'm like, yo, I've been trying to check. For some reason, I wasn't putting the right information, like my full name as it is on my passport or whatever. So, and I was almost getting late for work. I remember it was a Friday. So I just like rushed inside the bathroom and I gave her my phone that, babe, just help me figure this thing out. Hey, God. I didn't even know I finished taking a shower that day because, I almost died in the shower. Like, hey God, did I pass her friend? So I remember I came out, I'm like, what is it? She first gave me this sad look that she's like, you passed. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't even believe that I passed it. Like, at one trial, and it's not just me passing, I almost maxed out. I think my listening I had 8.5, speaking I had 8.0, reading I had 7.5. That writing that I did not even write very well, I had 7.0. I was just so grateful to God because I literally almost maxed out the points. But anyways, with that being said, my WES was ready, my IELTS English speaking was ready. And for those asking, WES is like a body that evaluates your credentials. So for example, like my BSc and my diploma, whatever, all your educational credentials, they would convert it to Canadian standard. So the name of the body that I used was WES. I think it's World Educational Services or something like that. So once they're done with their evaluation, they give you a report, and then you take your English exam that you've done, or you take the certificate like this. Those are the only two things you need to enter the Canada Express Entry pool. So with that, I created my profile. I remember I created my profile December 22nd, I entered the pool. And back then, the way IRCC works, IRCC is Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Council, right? Yeah, they're the ones that are in charge of immigration and everything to Canada. Back then, they always have like a draw every two weeks. So how the draw works is that once you have your score and you're in the pool, your score it's dependent on different factors: your education, your work experience, whether or not you have Canadian experience, whether you have a sibling in Canada, whether you have English language proficiency or French proficiency. So there are different factors that come together to give you a point. And so with that point, you are in the extra entry, carrying your point on your head like this. So they do that every two weeks, and every two weeks they release a score. And so if you have a score that basically, if you meet the score, so if you have a score that is greater than or equals to the score for that draw, you are given an invitation to apply. And honestly, if you do everything right, it means that you're on your way to Canada. So your ITA is like the toughest thing to get. Once you get it, all you have to do is put together your documents, do the right thing, because they're very finicky. Like, put together your documents and Canada, here you come. So I remember then I entered the pool, and it doesn't matter whether you've been in the pool for long. There's something called the tiebreaker rule, but I'm not even going to delve into that technicality. But basically, I was in the pool 22nd, and there was a draw at that time, January 8th. So also, knowing me now, I carried my worry pants on my head like this, that, hey, God, I remember then I left work at 7 o'clock. I'm like, today is the draw day now. I never get emails say they want to invite me to apply. I don't start to call my friends, hey, you people, what's going on? So I totally forgot that obviously we're 6 hours ahead of Canada, so it makes sense that they are still working on it, right? So like 9 p.m. that day, I eventually got my ITA. I was on top of the world. Guys, hey, and so let me even break it to you. Back then, before COVID, like Canada's processing time is 6 months. Like they literally have a progress bar in the application that talks about, like, that literally counts down the 6 months, because ideally their ETA, like especially time of arrival, is 6 months. So people get it through. I know my brother then got it only 3 months. The average was actually like 3 to 4 months, depending on your visa office. So then I started like I shall put together everything. And trust me now, 20 days later, I've done my medicals, I've done my police clearance certificate, I put together like the proof of funds, gift deed, notoriety, whatever, like put together all of the documents. I was ready to submit 20 days after I got my ITA, right? So I submitted and finally entered the pool January 28th. 2020. And I remember I was so elated that June, I don't move, I don't jackpot. And then COVID-19 came. So I remember that in March, COVID had been around in December, but it wasn't really a biggie until like February actually, because as I went to go and do my medicals, we didn't wear masks, we didn't wear anything, like it was just business as usual. Then end of February/March, that there lockdowns, Nigeria started taking it serious. I mean, the entire world was literally now making a fuss. I thought about it. I said, I beg, Shebi Ebola come, we know that. Say Ebola, we leave the Ebola now. Last time fever came. So I thought it was one of those, one of those ailments that I beg, they will pass. It probably will even affect us in Nigeria. So March came now, and I remember Nigeria shut down the airspace in March. I'm like, this is looking true. It's looking serious. So like, what's really going on? So they shut down the airspace in March. I was still like, nah. As I had faith, like actually the entire world, they will not now get vaccine. Like I've never seen anything like this COVID before. I was just like, nah, I thought they will get vaccine, like the entire world, Even if Nigeria no fit get cure, say where they in China they, say where they in US they, who they breathe. So March came. I remember in March, I resigned from my work. Honestly, I was already tired. Like mentally, I was exhausted. I mean, at that time, I'd been working since 2015. That was like, I'd been like 5 years on the job, basically. I was just like, oh, well, I have just 3 months to go to Canada. In my office, then you need to give 2 months notice. So March 5th, 2020, I resigned and I gave my 2-month notice to leave in May 2020. So at that point, I'm like, oh, I'll just sit at home for just 1 month and chill and honestly just relax before I move to Canada. Oh my God. So anyways, I did that. I resigned, I was just like, oh, any which way, say, I got this. I go soon come over and enjoy. You get, March came. Oh yeah, lockdown. I remember that they sent all of us from the office to go and work from home. Hey, April, we still there as they work. Hey, I remember ending of April, my boss then told me, I don't want to withdraw resignation. I said, like, I'm not doing that. I cannot, because in my mind, I still like, hope still doing now. They will still find cure now. So I didn't answer. I only extended by 6 weeks. I said after 6 weeks, nothing's holding me. I remember June 15th, June 5th. Okay, no, yeah, by 6 weeks, yeah, June 15th, 2020 was my last day. And even when I was onto my document, I still bounced, as I was doing my passport, I wasn't coming here now. Even though at that point, 6 months already naku. Even before the 6 months, then the way the progress bar was, every month I'll be happy. I'll call Come, my best friend, I'll be like, oh, 1 month down, 5 months to go. And that thing, once it enters 3 months, it will start counting like in days, right? So 90 days countdown. Hey guys, time is 0. We see no update on my application, nothing, radio silence. So I'll still having hope. There's no how now. There's no how. Anyhow, I'll say cure go day. So I left that job in June and I was only at home for 3 weeks. I remember then, I don't eat into my savings in 3 weeks. See how much I don't spend. And nothing was coming in because, alongside my 9 to 5, I had a business. I sell shoe, I sell perfume, clothes, fashion. Basically, I buy and sell fashion items and perfumes. And of course, there was we're in the middle of the freaking pandemic. Who wants to wear clothes? Where are they even going to? We're on lockdown, right? And that's the time that I decided to go and resign, to go and leave work. Sure, you people are reasoning with me. So I sat at home and I just did spend money as per big gain. I was literally eating into my savings, and after like 3 weeks, I asked myself, is this sustainable? I told myself that worst case scenario, I'll go to my mother's house and go and eat free food, Jare. Waiting appreciate now she born me. That's worst case scenario, So I remember that it was in July, first week in July. My friend calls me and he's like, how far? I beg, I need analysts to. Do you have any resume you can send to me? I'm like, duh, you're talking to one. And he's like, maybe you want to go Canada. And I said, guy, I'm asking this Nigeria, so make I even try. So honestly, for me, that interview, because when I transitioned into analytics, it was in my former office. I didn't entirely do, of course I did an internal interview, but I didn't do like an external interview. So I didn't have experience in terms of how interviewing for the role can be. So for me, I honestly just wanted to go and try that out. So I told him that, please, by all means, submit my resume. Let me even try. So they called me for interview, and I got there that day. I remember I checked online. I didn't find anything about the company. I didn't even care. But the moment I entered the company, I saw that a company as big as the sea factory. I started to look for them online. And you know how when you go and write the exam, this is all over syllabus. I saw people going through material, meanwhile, I was there pressing my phone. What was really happening? Am I lost? But anyways, I did the interview. The first one was a breeze, and the second one, was one with my boss. He drilled me. Oh my God! I left the interview and I'm like, I don't think I won't get it just because, guy, I was literally interviewing for 45 minutes. At some point I was talking for 10 minutes non-stop. That interview was intense. But then afterwards, the HR told me to wait, and then we did some negotiation and everything. Honestly, that negotiation, I still negotiated as per, I will still leave Nigeria soon now. I didn't want to ask for too much. Now let me not go and stress these people too much, and in 1 month or 2 months I'll carry my bag and say I go Canada. So I sort of honestly, I didn't give it my best. I didn't negotiate it too much or anything. I negotiated a bit, but at the end of the day, you know how it works with HRs now. I'm sure they are watching this. You know how it works with HR now. You don't stand your ground. Especially if you know they like you and they want you. You might as well make that ship. But me, I was just at the end of the day, make a chance not sit down for us. Of course, it wasn't the same amount I was earning before, but it wasn't fantastically over what I was earning. So I could have done better in the sense that if I was still in Nigeria, there's a way I will negotiate based on, hello, I sit there here, I don't know how many years I go spend for here. But because I'm nah, I'll soon leave, so whatever. So I remember after the interview, I was honestly still not even sure whether I wanted to take the job, because I'm mommy, I want to rest too. I remember I left there and I initially pranked my mom. I told her I didn't get the job. She was like, well, you were already discussing with them over the phone, because before the second interview, they had called me to talk about the perks of the company and every. So my mom was like, just take it to that. At all, don't go sit down for house. So she talked about it. People close to me were like, man, just take this job, because with this COVID, we don't know what's up. And honestly, my God, I can't say that was the best decision in my entire life, but it was one of the best decisions I ever made for my career, because I took that job and unexpectedly, it's not even about the people. The job is pretty much what laid the foundation for my career here in Canada. I feel like without that job, I probably would have gotten a job eventually, but honestly, it was very pivotal for my career, and they were such amazing people. I made, in short, very sensible relationships that I still, keep till now. So it turned out, honestly, to be a blessing for my career. I know how God works, and He does some things we don't even know why He does it. Because for me, at that time, I didn't think I needed the job, right? So I took the job and I was riding the wave. Now, hey, they will open airspace today, Nibo. They will open it tomorrow. As Nigeria is locking down their airspace, Canada is there's travel restriction. You can't come into our country. So eventually, I think Nigeria opened up in November-ish. And then I remember Accra visa office started dishing out passport requests to people that even something after me. They were landing in Canada because despite the restriction, people were still landing at that time before Canada just like changed their mind, like no, nobody's even, they even now stopped issuing PPR to anybody. Shebi we say you are not allowed to enter, so there's no need to give you passport, there's no need for you to submit your passport since you are not going to be able to land. That's what they hold us hostage. Like every month Canada will be like, will update you on the travel restriction. So it's like every 30 days, they kept moving it to the next 30 days. 30 days, they'll be like, well, sorry, you know, restrictions are still on. Next 30 days, the same thing. So for me, it's like, it was a roller coaster. Every 30 days, I'm like, hey, God, please, I beg go. 30 days will come, they'll give us a handicap. We wait again, another 30 days. Honestly, Canada was shut down from like March 2020 till August 2021. A little over 1 year. Like, they were like, international travel restriction, you couldn't land. So, and that also affected like processing applications because they were working from home with little or no access to like, their tools and everything. So everything was pretty much a standstill. So I remember very vividly at the end of December 2020, I was tired. Like I was tired of always checking. I was so fixated because every other day I'm checking my email, I'm logging in, I'm asking people that are in the same boat, how far. January, my New Year resolution, I remember January 2021. I said, see, as I did like this, so I don't come on, I'm going to just live my life as if I never applied. So, of course, prior to that, I thought I was going to Canada now. So, like, I needed to buy some clothes, I needed to buy some shoes. I was just like, nah, I don't want to end up giving it out. Guys, January came like this. I started shopping like a mad woman. Like I bought things that I needed because I'm just like the way this thing is going, I don't even know. As I'm alive, let me enjoy my life. So if God say I will reach Canada, alhamdulillah. If not to, let me live my life. So I started living in the present but then again, you cannot 100% take your mind off going to Canada. It is what it is. Like you submitted your application, right? But I just wasn't as fixated as I was, like checking every time. I joined a WhatsApp group then of people that we were all waiting together, but it was less pressure, at least at that time, because nobody had an update, right? So they opened up the airport in August and the fixation came back again. I remember then they opened the airport in August 7th or August 9th, 2021. Guys. And so I'm just like, there's no restriction again. So before they even opened up, like in July, they started giving people PRs. They started like working, even though they had been working before. My own application had been standstill since 2020 July. Like I passed eligibility, I passed everything. All they needed to do was request for my passport since July 2020, because I ordered, there's something called GCMS, Global Case Management Notes. So you order it to track your application to see if anything is wrong. And I ordered it twice. Second one I ordered was in July 2020, and I saw that I'd passed everything. The only stage left was to say, oh yeah, submit your passport, let's give you visa. Guys, from July 2020. I don't want to fast forward. So anyways, they resumed back in August. Now they resumed processing, they resumed giving people PRs, and I'm like, they started. Now of course you'll be on groups, everybody be like, I just got I just got PPR today. So August 4th, if I'm correct here, August 4th, they sent me a mail saying that okay, it's called ADR, additional document requirement. They asked me if I was still single. They asked me if my status has changed, basically, right? They wanted to know. And so I replied them, okay, I'm still single, I don't have a family member, nothing has changed. Give me my pali, make I go. That was in August, if I remember correctly. Yeah, August 4th. And then, July 31st, before then, they asked me to redo my medicals. Typically, your medicals last for 1 year. The validity of your medicals is 1 year. So, and I did my medicals in like January 2020. So, we're already in July 2021. Even though they were extending for some people, on July 31st, they told me to go and redo my medicals. I was like, finally, some movement, after exactly one year of standstill, I did the medicals, then things were moving fast. 4 days after, they asked me for my status. I say, hey, this girl is going to Canada soon. That's how the fixation started. I entered phase 2. So I did that. I passed medical August 12th, guys. As in, that's where problems started. The form I even sent them for my status, they didn't acknowledge it until like 3 weeks after. I said, okay, thank you for acknowledging. Oh yeah, I've given you everything you want to. I've redone my medicals. Like, what else? What is left, guys? Radio silence. From August again. And this time around, people were already getting. Like people that submitted after me. I don't know. Like they were just working haphazardly. Like they were not working according to the queue. I don't even know how they were working. So every day I was just like, hey, when will it be my turn? God, do I have to me? No. God, please help me now. So I remember in October, somebody came on the group and said that all she did was send an email to them saying that she's depressed too, that her life is on standstill, and then the next day they asked her to submit her password. I said, anything? So me too, October 7th, I remember very vividly. I composed email, sent it to one of my friends to proofread. I said, okay, it's time to send email. That's why I sent a compassionate email, So I sent the email October 7th, and then November 9th, I got like a ghost update, like basically a month after. And if you are a part of this Express Entry, whatever, ghost update is that you get an update that they've updated your application, but you will not see any substantial update. You basically not see any update, but you get a notification. So it means that they've done something to your file backend, or they've made like a major change backend. So if you know ghost update back there, you know that almost like is either your PR is on the way, or maybe they've passed your medicals, or your biometrics have been updated. One of all of those, scenarios. So I got ghost update. I remember I went to the group. I said, you guys, hey, I just got GU. I just got ghost updates. That was like November 9th. And everybody was like, don't worry, your own is coming soon. At that point, I don't want the book. I remember November, is my my husband, then boyfriend's birthday. I remember his birthday. He was like, yo, I can smell it. This is your month. I said, well, people should go away. It's that same November. One of my friends said, see, as I was praying now, God showed me that you're going to Canada. I said, oh, boy, I beg, I don't tire. Where the pali? You want to sue me? So, so November 9th, I got the ghost of the people were like, you don't worry, it's coming to me. Of course, I know they get faith. Only you have little faith. So I remember that on November 16th, that very beautiful day, I decided to send a reminder to the guy that gave me hope that I was working on my application that, Elsa, what is going on? No, it's been over 1 month, so I never hear anything. So, guy, waiting the soap, And that particular evening, I checked all the forums I used to check all the updates, and then I got a message on WhatsApp. Somebody, Sam, he got his PPR, and then he put the guys his PPR. I remember I was literally typing congratulations. I mean, in my usual fashion, I was like, hey, God, now, wow, when you gonna answer me now? And something just told me that, Mama, go and check your email. That if you don't answer, you make you don't know. And guys, hey. I opened my email. I first saw the one circled in I created a folder for my Canada email. And so what that means is create a folder, you don't get alerts for it, right? You always have to check the folder. Because I honestly didn't want to miss any Canada email. I saw one circled in red, on red email. Hey! I thought about like 10 different emails I could have been. But none. I didn't think about PPR. Like I said, oh, maybe it's one of those people that sent emails to that responding to me. Or maybe it's another ghost of the guys. By the time I summoned up courage to open this email, I remember that I was working till like 10 at work. So I was going downstairs, I was going home. Then I wanted to stop by the kitchenette to carry my lunch box. As I entered the kitchen, I check, guys. And I was ready for visa email. I didn't even open the full email. I just fell on the floor, started praying to God. Like, guys, hey, like this is the email. Like I literally just sent the email to the guy like an hour before I went home, or like 2 hours before. And like, I didn't even have faith. That same day, guys, I tried to call my mom, call my boyfriend. I'm like, guys, hey, it's happened though. Like, hey, I'm going to Canada. It has happened. See, like it was so surreal. I got to that. I remember my friend Damola stays on my street. I remember that day I parked in front of our house and I started banging the gate. Like it was like 10:30. They were so scared, like, who is that banging our gates by this time? Like, what is going on? And I thought, I guess I should have actually recorded all of these things. Yeah. I was just like, guess what? Guess who just got a visa? And you know, she was like, you wish to bang my gates truly. Like, I was so excited. Shasha, I got home, spread the news to my friends. Somehow, I didn't even think about all of these vlogs and things. I should have recorded your reactions. So I got home. I didn't sleep that night till like 2 a.m. now. I mean, calling my diaspora people, telling everybody that, you're coming to Canada, your girl has gotten ready for visa. And then I slept. And the next day, honestly, for some reason, I thought I was going to be over the moon the next day. Like, based on, you know how everybody has always been like, hey, the day I will get my visa like this, how is your clinical? Like, for some weird reason, I woke up that and I wasn't so excited. I wasn't as enthusiastic as I thought I would be. Like, I thought I would be over the moon, I would be jumping and singing. For some reason, I was actually worried and sad. Because, of course, my normal self now, put on my worrying cap, like, some people say they submit their passport 6 months, they don't give them. Hey God, what if my own is like that? What if I mistakenly put the wrong passport size and they return my passport to me? Because I mean, Canada is finicky like that. If you make a mistake that's as flimsy as not following the picture guidelines, they will actually not stamp your passport. So like I thought about all of those things, I'm like, hey God, will it happen to me? So for some reason I just had a crazy headache. I was sad. So I went to office. Okay, then I remember my friend beat me. I just sent her a message. I'm like, don't shout. It has happened. She could do. Of course, she came to my table and she was like, I said, Mama, you are screaming. But anyways, so I remember I was going to the studio to go and stamp my passport, and my friend David, he called me. And you know, he was like, you don't sound excited. And I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. He was like, no, I can't tell. And then of course now I was just like, yo, I'm worried that this might happen. What if this? Because at that time I had not even decided the visa office to send it to, because I needed the fastest one so that my passport will not hang. So all of those worry. And he was like, can you forget about those ones, right? For now, just, you need to be in the moment. You need to live the moment. Forget about the worries. Forget about the what ifs. Forget about that. Like, if you don't truly immerse yourself in it, you will not truly be appreciative to God. And honestly, that phone call just changed everything for me, because I noticed that, yeah, I'd said, thank you, God, I've done my prayers, I've done everything, but I was truly not appreciative of how long it has been. 855 days. Like, I somehow, that joy, like, it was almost stolen from me. The worry almost stole my joy, and I was just worried once again. It's like, you've come this far, you are still worried. Like, no, you need to immerse yourself in the moment. Forget about the uncertainties. Forget about the things you need to do before you go. How about you just really just enjoy the moment and the fact that it has actually happened, and you are going to Canada by God's grace. So forget about the what ifs. And honestly, that day, I just, like, the entire thing changed for me. And then the spirit of gratitude, you know, came on, and I was a lot more enthusiastic, and I was happy and thankful to God. I sent my stuff to Egypt, and you know, it came by pretty fast. I did the unboxing video here. If you have not seen it, go and watch it. I'm attaching the link here. I unboxed the passport live when it was, you know, sent to me. So honestly, like, long and short, hey God, COVID-19, that was the journey of how 6 months ideally post ITA turned to, how many months was that? January to November. 11, turned to 22 months, literally, because of COVID-19. So for me, I'm just going to fast forward to, I mean, I've carried you guys along in terms of like the frustration and everything. Fast forward to how it turned out to be a blessing for me. Honestly, first of all, I mean, my career, if I didn't take that job that I didn't even know I needed at that point, if I didn't take that job, I don't know, like, it was just a blessing to me. And it still is, because till today, I still make reference to my work, the work that I did there, right? Second of all is that you know, for some reason, I lost a lot of money while I was waiting. I'll do another story time about how I was scammed. Hey guys, but then again, God came through and I added another stream of income to my existing stream of incomes. Then again, I wouldn't have done that. I probably wouldn't have cared if I had left Nigeria, right? Another blessing, like the wait time at the end of the day. Then the final most important one is that while waiting, I met my husband. And you know, prior to him, I'd been single for 4 years, because for me growing up, even from my early age, I've been a preacher of I cannot date somebody I cannot get married to, right? So yeah, call me picky, but it is what it is. So yeah, from 2017 till 2021, I was actually single and living my best life, by the way. And July came and I met him in July. We started dating in like September, and you know, things were moving fast. We knew what we wanted from, you know, each other, and you know, he ticked the boxes. I'm like, And so for me, once again, I'm like, God, why this man did all this while? Why is it diming it? Why is it diming it that's too late? I couldn't even add him again to the application. Because at some point, even before I met him, I said, I beg, you know what, I'll come and start my love life again in Canada. Fresh start. Thank God I didn't do that. You know, I've been watching videos about how difficult the dating scene in Canada was until I came here. Like, based on some people that I know, even when I go out, guys, Iluleo, it's very hard out there for single people. So if you have any man that you are eyeing, or that people like each other, he likes you, you like him, he ticks all your boxes, he's your ideal man, hey, hold that man title. In short, if possible, add him to your application. Come together, because the dating scene here is actually the ghetto. So me, I had no idea. I'm just like, whatever, man. I will start afresh, you know. And thank God I actually met him then, because once again, turned out to be a blessing. Like, I've been waiting. Why is it like 4 months or 4 months to my passports, to my visa coming out, that I met him? But you know how God says now. You know how God works. Better late than never. Like, at the appointed time, things will fall into place. Okay, I hate to sound like an apostle, but I know the apostle Paul, but you get what I mean. Like, at the end of the day, the wait was a blessing. God's time, is definitely always the best. Like, no cap. Eventually, in short, I'm just grateful to God. But it doesn't rule out the fact that the up and downs, the trauma, in short, at some point, I feel like if I had measured my BP occasionally, I would have seen that, BPN loss, okay, because it reached IRCC. And if there's anything I've learned about waiting for your visa in Canada, even visit Togo, like even work permit, I think, okay, maybe for students, I mean, you're working with your admission, so yeah, maybe the timeline is not as crazy as, you know, other types of temporary visas and permanent visas. Guys, Canada journey, it teaches you patience. I'm sure you've heard this from almost everybody that talks about their story. It will teach you patience. So, hey, this one is by force patience, because whether I like it or not, there's nothing you can do. It's whenever they're ready, they're ready. Like, no. No, it taught me patience. Like, but yeah, I hope that you've learned a thing or two from this video. Okay, one last thing. I didn't say this earlier, like in terms of like lesson learned. If you are waiting for your Canadian visa right now, all along I didn't even drink my juice. This gist has entered my body too much. Make I sip small, because like I say my throat done is dry. As I was saying, if you submit your visa and you're waiting, hey, don't put your life on hold though. Like, these Canada people, yeah, these days I hear they're fast, glory to God, but like, maybe major decisions you can hold off a bit, but don't basically put your life on hold because of these guys. Like, hey, you can say it will be fast and it will take long, like, God forbid. So like, don't even just be fixated. Like, I keep telling new people now, hey, I know what I went through. Don't go and checking your email every day. Submit it and forget about it. Whatever they call you, glory to God. That's the best way to live and like go through this entire like process, because it's very daunting enough that we had to. I mean, I started everything since 2019. I didn't enter pools, like waiting for your West, waiting for your IELTS. It's a lot of work. So I think I'll do a step-by-step. No, I think I will, by popular demand. I'll do a step-by-step on what the process of express entry is. I mean, from my own lens, as at then, and I know there are a few changes coming up soon, and what the reality of express entry these days is. So I'll do that. Please watch out for that video. I'm definitely going to do that next. Not next, but I'm going to do that soon. And also, I'm going to also do an informative video of how I got 3 job offers in my 2nd month of landing in Canada. Yeah, that's right. And it's not just anyhow offers. Job offers in my field. So I'm going to be sharing all the tips and tricks and honestly how to navigate the job search and job every as a new immigrant in Canada. So please turn on post notification to watch out for that. This just was too sweet that I did not even tell you anytime in the video to at this point. That's if you watch it to this point. Please like, share, subscribe, or comment to let me know if you are enjoying this gist so that there will be more gist to come. And most importantly, please subscribe, please like this video, let the whole world know that hey, gist is happening here. Okay, everyone please like, comment, share, subscribe with your friends, and thank you for watching this far. If you've watched it this long, you be OG. I did for you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.